The National Forest is a new forest created across 200 square miles of the Midlands, connecting the ancient woodlands of Charnwood and Needwood. For 30 years, we've been working with landowners, tenants, communities and partners to create the National Forest, taking forest cover from about 6% to nearly 23%. In this area, woodland cover was down as low as 1% because of the former land use of coal mining and clay extraction.
This is truly an amazing site. It's transformed the landscape by forest creation in certain areas of marginal land. We have been looking to grow the future. We've got a real mosaic of different types of habitats, from parkland trees, open land grazing. We've got accessibility with pathways, areas for people to get outside and enjoy. Predominantly, we've been planting native species of trees, and we've really layered them into the landscape to try to give a real mosaic of different habitats. We've also put in wildflower areas to create and increase biodiversity across the site.
Whenever we design a site, we really look at not just the site itself, but how it fits into the wider landscape. So we look at ecological networks. Wildlife doesn't just pop out of the ground, we need it to move in. So we're creating these networks so wildlife comes in from nearby mature woodlands, comes in from grasslands, and we've got a stream running through, so we're even going to bring things in with sort of wetland wildlife as well. So we have different names for different parts of the site. Feanedock Wood, which is where we have our timber festival, was the first area of land we bought. So that's been planted about 15 years ago, so that's getting quite mature. The area we're in now, we call Boothorpe, that's more like 10 years growth. Boothorpe is much more open. You've got fantastic views, you've got mature oaks in the middle, you've got horses riding around you. And the last piece was the area called Norris Hill, which we bought far more recently, and that's got some really interesting old buildings dating back to late 1800s. So it's great for people, but it's also really fantastic for biodiversity and wildlife.
Across the site, there's lots of different activities that can go on. There's spaces for events, but we also have conservation grazing. We've got a community orchard, and we've got some beehives, which are just fantastic because of the rich biodiversity across the site. We're putting in a new community tree nursery with Leicestershire County Council, a fantastic opportunity for us to be growing from seeds and then getting them planted out across the forest.
We really want more landowners to be involved in helping us grow the forest. We can support farmers integrate trees onto their farm whilst also maintaining their farm business. It's important that we not only plant trees, but that we think about food security. Our forest creation grants can cover 100% of the costs of getting advice, designing and implementing, and then maintaining a scheme. If you're a landowner, we can offer you free and impartial advice on how to integrate trees into your land and then how to manage them to make sure they really deliver long-term benefits.
This site is a real legacy in the landscape. It can demonstrate to landowners the change that can happen by planting trees. There is a wonderful mix of trees, open areas for space, for people to access and enjoy, but importantly, there's wonderful rich grasslands that are actually there to provide economic benefit through conservation grazing, but also to ensure that we have an income stream for the future. So this is about a real rich habitat with integrated landscape that can provide a demonstration to showcase to landowners that a real change is possible for the future.